This is the Para Cave Podcast, proudly brought to you by major sponsor Jack's Pale Ale, exclusively available at Parramatta Leagues Club, and co-sponsors Beau Cook from Loan Market, Scott from Brightside Detailing and Ceramics, Shannon Cooney from Glenmore Park Realty, BTZD Clothing, the official clothing partner of the Para Cave Podcast, and the official media partner of the Para Cave Podcast, the Parramatta Times.
Welcome to another episode of the Para Cave Podcast. And now over to your host, Troy Warner, broadcasting live from the world-famous Para Cave.
And yes, hello and welcome back to another cracking episode of the Para Cave Podcast. Troy Warner here, I'll be your host, and today we are back to the interview-style podcast with a former player of the greatest game of all, rugby league, and today's guest is Mr. Neville Costigan. Now, Neville began his career with the Brisbane Broncos, also represented the Canberra Raiders, played at St George Illawarra Dragons, where he won a premiership in 2010 under Wayne Bennett, and finished off his career at Newcastle in the NRL. Now, Neville also played over in England for Hull KR before returning to Australia to have a season at the Townsville Blackhawks. Neville also represented Papua New Guinea as well in 2 World Cups, and also represented Queensland, the Queensland Maroons, in State of Origin as well in 6 appearances during that dynasty period of the Queensland Maroons. So during this chat with Neville, we talk about his playing career with those clubs as mentioned before. We also talk about also a little bit of off-field stuff as well, like later on in his, I suppose you could call it career, a charity boxing match against Parramatta's Junior Paulo up there in Townsville, a rugby league fight night put on by the No Limit boxing guys. That was quite interesting to hear. We also have the common league questions, the personality questions, and much, much more. So it was a great insight into Neville's career, and he was known as a bit of a hard man on the field. Certainly pulled off some great hard-hitting tackles. So it's a really interesting chat. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Now, this wouldn't be at all possible without the help of the sponsors. Major sponsor, Jack's Pale Ale, exclusively available at Parramatta Leagues Club. Beau Cook from Loan Market, Shannon Cooney from Glenmore Park Realty, BTZD Teamwear, the official apparel sponsor of the Para Cave Podcast, and the Parramatta Times, the official media partner of the Para Cave Podcast. More details about the sponsors and the Para Cave Podcast merchandise, which you can purchase after the chat with Neville. So, enough of me talking, and as Hindy says,
get a beer, coffee, whatever you want.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy, and let's get straight into it.
Yeah, g'day, it's Neville Costigan here. Used to play for Broncos, Dragons, Canberra and Newcastle. Just about to have a chat with Troy Warner from Para Podcast.
And as you heard from his intro, my guest today on the Para Cave Podcast is a former NRL player with the Brisbane Broncos, the St George Illawarra Dragons, Newcastle Knights and the Canberra Raiders. Also played over in the English Superleague as well for Hull FC. Has represented PNG and the Queensland Maroons as well in State of Origin. So no doubt after Wednesday night's result, he's a very happy man. Welcome to the Para Cave Podcast, Mr. Neville Costigan.
Thanks for having me, Troy.
Not a problem. Now, born in PNG and moving over to Australia at a young age, was rugby league always something that you thought you'd play and pursue as a career, or was there other sports that you liked playing as a kid?
Yeah, growing up in I was born in PNG. My old man, like, he's Australian, so he had a property over here, so we were going back and forth. But watch rugby league. As you know, rugby league is in PNG is massive. So that's the only sport I've ever watched, and I've always wanted to be a footy player. To watch, I used to love the Broncos growing up. So that was my team.
Who were some of the players that you used to love watching running around at the Broncos?
Yeah, my favourite was probably Big Gordy, good Gordy Tallis, Alfie Langer, Steve Runoff, all those fellas. Growing up, used to watch. Gordy was my idol growing up, so always wanted to be like him.
And you got the opportunity to play with Gordon at the Broncos. You made your debut in 2003 for the Broncos. What was your first grade debut like, and was it everything you thought first grade was going to be?
Yeah, well, it was a while ago, but I remember my debut. I went on the last 10, 15 minutes, and I think they kicked off. So they kicked off, I think it was Dragons, they kicked off, and I dropped the ball on my first touch.
Yeah.
And it was off the kickoff. I think I was playing front row. Wayne put me in the front row. I was only 90 kilos. But dropped the ball, and then I got those a bit of nerves out of the way. But it was awesome. It was, I had family there, and it was something special. I'll never forget that day.
What was it like being coached by Wayne Bennett in those early days as a young man?
Yeah. He is good. I still keep in contact with Wayne.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys who he's like a father figure to everyone. He cares about your off field, what you do off field, and he tries to help you in that way. Whatever you need help with outside of footy, he helps you, and try and repay him back by playing well for him.
And as we mentioned, Gordon Tallis as well, but you also played with Darren Lockyer and Shane Webke, etc. What was it like playing with those sort of calibre of players at the Broncos at a young age?
Yeah, Lockie was one of my idols growing up too, and playing with him. He's captain at the time. He's probably one of the best players I've ever played with. Lockie's, he didn't care who you were. He got everyone involved. If you played one game, 0 games, or 300 games, you got everyone together, and you didn't care, what your status was. You just wanted everyone to get along, and you got everyone gelling together like that. He was awesome. And like big Shane Webke, I remember my debut. The forwards, you hold the tackling pads, and the forwards tackle each other. And I remember Shane. He come over from the right side to come in front of me, and I ran with the pad, and he drove me back that hard and hit the wall and put a big crack in the wall. And he goes, "That's coming, mate. That's coming. You got to get ready."
Yeah, wow.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, well, if that's at training, imagine what it was like during a game. It must have been...
Oh, yeah, that was warm-up. That was warm-up before the game.
Yeah,
so it'd be debut, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, certainly a legend of the Broncos and rugby league, Shane Webke. Now, unfortunately, an off-field incident cost you a spot in the grand final side of 2006, and then you were sacked by Brisbane. Do you think then, at a young age, did you worry about your career being over at that stage?
I don't know. It was a big shock when I got the sack. I was pretty upset, but I was getting too comfortable in Brisbane there, just running, as young fellas do, drink plenty of piss and party, in the limelight. You get a bit ahead of yourself sometimes. You get stuck in the comfort zone, and I was only young then, so I thought I would have got another club, but I wasn't real worried because it didn't worry me like if I went back to work or.
Okay.
So it didn't really worry me at the time. But I was pretty upset. I was shocked. I didn't want to leave the Broncos because they were my club growing up, and built some good friendships there. But yeah, no, I was a little bit worried. I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you found a new home at Canberra, and it proved to be a winner because you made your debut for the Queensland Maroons in Game 1. And you were coached by the immortal, Mal Meninga. Was it obviously growing up in Queensland, it was always a dream to play for the Maroons?
Yeah, definitely. It was a dream, but my dream was to play the Broncos.
Okay.
And I never thought I'd play for the Queensland, so that wasn't even in me head,
Oh,
you know.
right.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, the Broncos have always that was my goal. Like I wanted to play for the Bronx, and then whatever came after that was the bonus. But when I got a bit older, before I started playing Origin in 2007, when I got a couple of years under my belt, I thought I could be, if I knuckle down here, it could be a possibility playing for the Maroons. So when I got the sack from the Bronx, the old man told me that only one way to get everyone forget about your past is play well and try and so I knuckled down in Canberra in my first year there, and then I was lucky enough to make Queensland.
Well, you played 6 games throughout your Origin career, and it was during that dynasty period of the Maroons. What are your favourite memories of playing State of Origin football?
Just playing with your mates, your brothers. Look, Big Petro, used to love playing with him. Lockie, and Semi thought I grew up with Semi, Big Semi. We played against each other when we were young. He's from Towns, I was from Mackay, so we played against each other, and just with, he was a mate growing up too, and just playing with your mates, you never want to let them down when you're on the field.
Who was your roomie in camps, Maroon camps?
Oh shit, I can't remember. Jacob Lilliman was one of them.
Yeah.
Nate Myers, I think they swapped you around a few times, you're not always stuck with the same person, but big Jacob Lilliman, used to bring with him a fair bit. He's a good fellow, got along really good with him.
Any funny stories on camps? Camps?
There's a few, but yeah, can't really tell on the show.
Yeah,
there was a few, but
was Alfie Langer around at those times, like he is today?
Yeah, he was around. Yeah. Oh man, he's a good fella, Alfie. If you want to get your party started, just ring Alfie. He's the man.
Yeah, I saw a social media clip of him at the Caxton on Wednesday night. It would have been Thursday morning, and he was saying that I think the licence goes to 5 a.m, but let's have 6 more songs or something like that. And got all the crowd going and stuff like that. So, as only Alfie could do.
Yeah, no one else, eh?
Yeah, that's it. Well, only a couple of years at Canberra. Did you want to stay at Canberra longer than what you did?
Not really. I wasn't. I missed home a bit, but first year I was happy there because everything was new, but I just got I didn't really get along with Neil Henry.
Okay.
He was a coach then. I wasn't really getting along with him, and and then Wayne rang up.
Okay.
When he went to the Dragons, he rang and said, I'd be keen to go join him at the Dragons. Didn't even think twice. I just rang my manager and went from there.
Was that sort of a strange sort of feeling, seeing as though you got the sack from the Broncos when Wayne was coach, or it was just the fact that Wayne was coach of the Dragons that you wanted to play under him again?
Wayne and I always got, even when I got the sack, always he had no choice but to sack me because the sponsors were pulling out and all that. So he didn't have. He was pretty upset when he told me that day when he sacked me that day. and I've always got along with Wayne. I always spoke to him after I got the sack, and it was no one else's fault but myself. I didn't blame the Broncos for sacking me. It was just all my fault. I took it on the chin and moved on. But I've always got along with Wayne. And when Wayne called me, asked me to go to Dragons team, I was snatched it up.
Well, just back into 2008, you represented PNG as well at the World Cup, and again in 2013 as well. How much did that mean to yourself to represent that nation and your family as well?
Yeah, so 2008 World Cup was probably up there with the best time I've had playing rugby league.
Yeah.
It's most fun, with the boys from PNG. I never had much to do with PNG Rugby League before that, but just when Adrian called me and said, "Would you come and play?" and I thought about it, and I rang him back and said, "Yeah, I'll come and have a go." And it was probably the best decision I've ever made. Just with the boys that's never been out of PNG, and they appreciate everything they get, and makes you realise, I've got it pretty good here in Australia. But, so it was really fun and good and fun camp. Yeah,
we see the PNG Hunters play in the Queensland Cup now. They're also trying to get a NRL team in at a future stage. Do you think PNG will get a NRL team into the competition?
I don't think so. It'd be good, but they've just got a lot of it'd be hard for them because it'd be hard to track players up there.
Yeah.
There's not many rugby league in PNG. They haven't got any juniors, competitions or all the grassroots. It's just all open men's footy, really.
Okay.
There's a lot of work to be done before any of that. Any of those things happening.
Okay.
Because they need to start off with the juniors, junior teams. It'd be hard to see. I can't see a team getting put up there in the next few, 5-6 years anyway.
I think a good friend of the podcast, Joey Grimer, he's headed up to PNG now. He's left Parramatta after 31 years, and that's one of his goals, is to work with the juniors and stuff like that and develop the game up there, and then hopefully lobby the NRL to get the licence. I think 2026 is the next licence I think that's going to be granted, and for start in 2028. So still a little bit a while away. So we wish Joey all the best about that one.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, no, he's been involved a little bit with PNG Rugby League over the last few years, so it's good.
That's good.
What was it like playing against Australia in the World Cup? Some of your good mates in the team there, and was there any sledging or friendly head rubs in the ground or anything like that?
No, it was pretty good. We put up a good fight, and I don't know. I didn't really chat to many of the Aussie boys before the game, and all I wanted to do is go out there and just hammer them. There's no, especially playing for PNG, they don't care who you are. If you're in a different coloured shirt, you're getting smacked. And I sort of kind of the same mentality when I was playing for them. But I was. If Terry Kempese, he was making his debut for Australia. I think I fed him one, and I tackled him pretty hard, and he broke his collarbone, and he didn't really talk to me after that. I think he hasn't played since for Australia. But he's I've seen him and his wife at the airport once. His wife just gave me biggest no look. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's rugby
But
league.
well, that's
isn't it?
footy.
Yeah, that's rugby league. We see Justin Olam from the Storm. He's one of the hardest defenders in the competition these days. So, and probably one of PNG's best players as well.
Yeah.
You moved to St George in 2009, and you play finals. And one game of that year in 2009 was against Parramatta in the semi-finals after you flogged them the week before. What are your memories of that game in that semi-final?
Yeah. I think we played him the week before in the last round, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we played him in the first game. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Jared Hayne. That was when he was at his peak. He carved us up. I just remember our team being a bit lethargic back then. Towards the back end of the year, I think everyone was just a bit tired.
Yeah.
We sort of didn't play real well, and coming up against Para, they hit form. I remember them carving us up, especially Jared Hayne. He was unstoppable then.
What was it like against playing against Parramatta during your career?
Oh, yeah, I can't really remember. I remember that. Yeah, they're always a tough team.
Yeah,
they're always competitive. I remember they used to, just very competitive. You've got to be on your game to, get the win. It was a tough game against Para.
Well, you must have learnt from 2009 to 2010 because St George go on to make the grand final and win the grand final. What are your memories of winning that grand final? Is that the ultimate dream for a footy player, to win a premiership with your mates?
Yeah, definitely. I remember playing Origin and grand final. Grand final tops everything. You play all your career just to, or even the whole year just for that one game, and hard to get. Most players, everyone would know. And it's nothing. I still remember running out at the start, and the crowd just went nuts.
Yeah.
Just sent chills down your spine. Hair stick up. Yeah, it was awesome, mate. Nothing better.
And I suppose for yourself personally, a bit of what would you call it? Not redemption, but a bit of relief, winning that grand final after not playing in 2006.
Yeah. After that 2006, never thought I'd get another chance. And then when Rain called, I thought, this might get close here, and he's going down the Dragons. Probably the best bunch of boys I've ever played with down there. Everyone got along, and no egos around. Everyone was mates, and showed that on the field. It was. I never thought I'd get another one, but getting, being coached by Wayne again, you always know you're going to get close.
Who was the best in celebrations off field after the game? What were the celebrations like?
Oh, yeah. I think I was up there with one of the best. Me and Gaz were probably the last one standing after the grand final. But Wayne told everyone to behave themselves, because the next day we had to go down to Wollongong and get the key to the city, so you had to go up. So they cut off the grog there for a while. It was good few days.
Yeah.
After that, anyway.
Do you watch it back around grand final time for old time's sake?
Oh no, I don't think I've watched it.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The game, but I don't even watch footy these days anyway. So
Okay.
I don't really know what's happening. But no, I haven't watched the whole game. No.
is that just a like a time thing that you don't watch footy these days, or just lost sort of a bit of an interest in it these days?
Yeah, sort of lost a bit of an interest just because of all the new rules and
Okay.
I don't know. It's just doesn't seem like what I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just don't really. Yeah, just too many rules and
Rule changes.
pretty much a bit like touch footy. That's what I reckon anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you moved to Newcastle after St George, and it's a one-team town, and the fans in there are pretty passionate. Win, lose, or draw, they always turn up for their team. Was it sort of difficult playing at Newcastle with that sort of expectation of the fans to win?
We had that first year we got there. We had a pretty good year. We made the semis, and they love their footy there in Newcastle. It's one team town. It's a really good town. Love living there. And they do expect results, but they always stick by as long as you have a go. They always turned up. It was I love playing for Newcastle. They're a good team.
And you played for Hull FC over in England as well. What was that experience like? I've heard the crowds over there are pretty passionate as well about their teams and rugby league.
Yeah, I played for KR, Hull KR.
Oh, KR. Yep.
Yes. And there's FC as well, but I didn't know what to expect. I went over there in the World Cup for PNG in 2013, and we were based in Hull, and I didn't know where I was going there yet because I didn't sign a thing. But went over there and told the boys I'd never live here. And about a month later, a couple of months later, I ended up there. But it was awesome town. It was pretty much like towns, but it was a bit of an industrial town. But they loved their footy. I didn't think it was that big.
Yeah.
Moved over with my partner at the time, and we went out for drinks and dinner one night. And, a couple of people come up. Oh, Nev Costigan, whatever. I was a bit shocked because living in a different country and mainly soccer over there, and I was thinking, oh shit, I don't know how these people know who I am. But it was. I loved Hull, living there. Best Pommies. I love the Pommies. They're all good fellas. I miss living over there sometimes because I had a ball over there.
What about did you play in the rivalry game against FC?
Yeah. So
what was that like?
I didn't. I remember the boys just talk it up a fair bit with that rivalry, and it was nuts. Like the week leading into it, it's like Origin, like exactly like Origin here. Like they hated each other.
Yeah.
Like, the FC people, KR people, they won't even talk to you. The FC fans won't even talk to any KR fans, vice versa. So it was good. It was awesome. It was good. It was loud. You had about 15,000, 20,000 people there, and it was just, can't hear yourself think. It was something special, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, yeah, I think you only had the 1 year up there, and then you come back and played for Townsville. What was that like? Was there any targets on your head being an ex-NRL player or sledges or anything like that?
Nah. Yeah, no. I had a couple of year contract over there, but I was missing home a bit, so
yeah,
I ended up coming back. But coming back and playing for the Blackhawks, it was the first year in the comp. I was talking to Wolfie, and he asked me to come and join the Blackhawks, and we had heaps of good fellas playing for the Hawks. I knew Ricky Thorby, he was ex-Dragons. I knew a fair few of the players there.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be good fit. But we had a good year. We made the grand final. We got beat by Ipswich, but it was a good year. Yeah.
And just a couple of years ago as well, on the I think it was the No Limit Celebrity or Rugby League fight night, you had a fight against Junior Paulo. How was that experience?
Yeah, no, it was never, yeah, never really watched boxing. I never, yeah. So when one of the, I was seeing the team. Heard there was a fight coming up in Townsville. I was seeing, like, I think it was in the paper or somewhere. They had the meeting, like all the players who they're fighting, and I was seeing one fella there that had Junior Paulo and TBA.
Okay.
And I was at the back of my head. I thought, I bet someone rings me up to fight this bloke. And sure enough, Big Petro calls, said, Nev, they got no one to fight Junior. Would you fight Junior? I said, oh shit. Yeah, all right. Chuck us in there. And I had fun. It was a really good experience. Like, I'd never done any boxing training before, and it was just the boxing gym just down the road. Went there 2 or 3 times a week, and done a bit there for about 6 weeks. It was it was good. It was a good experience. You know, they put on a good show, the All Stars. It was a good night.
So it was Petro who got you to fight, was it?
Yeah, I think Big Pet, right, yeah. I sort of knew at the back of my head, I knew I was going to get a phone call, especially being in Townsville.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and sure enough, I got a phone call from Pet, and he goes, yeah, no one would fight Junior. You want to jump in? I said, oh, fuck, all right.
Geez, I thought he would have been probably one of the last people to think about boxing or something like that. Like, Petro, like, he wouldn't hurt a fly, would he?
Nah, yeah, but you still wouldn't cross him, you know, if he gets angry. So, quiet ones you got to watch out for.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. How does Junior go in the ring? How hard were these punches?
Yeah, no, he was good. In the first round, I didn't really have I should have, with boxing, you got to train a fair bit.
Yeah.
I had to work all day, and the gym down the road only trained the arvo, so I'm a carer for my brother. He's got Down syndrome, so it's only him and I that live together.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me to go to work and then go to train in the afternoon, come home, cook dinner, 8:30. So I only train about 2-3 days a week, and with boxing you got to put your whole you got to invest a fair bit in the otherwise you get caught out like I did, and especially fighting someone like Junior. I heard he was training 6-7 times a week, sparring friggin' UFC fighters and everything. It showed on the thing, but he's a good fighter. I reckon be able to quit footy, he'd be up there with one of the best in Australia, I reckon.
Yeah, well, is boxing something that you'd consider doing more of if given the time to do that training?
No, not really. I'm too old.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough.
Body's not good. Body's pretty broken down. I've had 6 knee ops and shoulder recon and plates in the arm. So it's body's not too flashy after you play footy.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, playing in the forwards, front row and the like, that's a really tough position. One of the tough, or if not the toughest position in rugby league to play. What's Neville Costigan up to these days? What's keeping you busy?
I started my own little maintenance business, like a handyman maintenance business, about a year ago. So I'm just doing that. I'll take care of 20 childcare centres I look after every fortnight. So it's a rotational thing, contract. So I'll just do that every fortnight. And, it's keeping me pretty busy, which is good.
Yeah, that's it.
Plus I take care of my brother, and I've got my daughter here too. So life's pretty busy, which is good. But
nice. Well, time for some common league questions. Did you have, or do you have a favourite game that you played in your career? One that you thought, oh, geez, I really loved that game. That was awesome.
Probably the grand final.
Yeah.
Probably the grand final. In 2010. That was the best game. And one of the PNG games in 2008.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. What about a favourite try? Is there a favourite try in your career that you scored that you love?
I don't think I scored many. I can't really remember. No, I don't know. I don't really got a favourite one because I can't really remember. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. Other than your home ground, did you have a favourite ground that you used to love playing at?
Oh,
Either
Suncorp.
Suncorp,
Yeah, Suncorp. Yeah, Suncorp. When I was away, yeah. But yeah, this. Anyway, Wollongong, like when they're a bit. Yeah, they're really good. Those fields playing.
Yeah. What about a least favourite? Was there one that you hated playing at? Maybe due to the.
At Manly, because I thought there was always like a bit of a slope.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Always thought there was a slope. You run uphill one half and downhill the other half. So maybe it was me. My side, I don't know.
Okay. I wonder if anyone knows that. Maybe you have to check that one out, and maybe the running downhill might be the second half secret.
Yeah.
Maybe. Now you were known as a pretty hard defender. Made some pretty hard tackles. Who got you the best in a tackle? Who was the hardest hitter?
Oh. Maybe Big Petro.
Yeah.
He's just that rock hard, no fat on him. Just shoulders bone. He's always hard to run at because he'd put you away and it'd hurt.
Yeah, for sure. What about the hardest player to tackle? So not necessarily the hardest one that got you, but the shoes on the other foot. You're the defender. Who's the hardest player to tackle?
Oh, it was always the little fellas. I hated tackling little fella, Matty Bowen, and all those little fellas. Used to hate, them running my way because you could never, don't know which way they'd run. It's tough.
Yeah, no, definitely. That answer gets nominated a lot of times by players, and usually, especially by forwards as well. They say the little blokes. They don't like the little darty blokes that run around. Is there a player that you wanted to play with during your career but never got the opportunity to play with? Because you played with some legends of the game.
Oh. Maybe Andrew Johns.
Yeah?
Probably Andrew Johns because he's an immortal, so... Yeah, probably Andrew Johns, He's always thought he was, up there with the best player. Probably him,
who was the jokester or prankster at the clubs that you played for? And what did they get up to?
At Newcastle was a coup, Duarte.
Oh, yes.
He's always always laughing and joking around. What's his name too? He's 5'8", Beau. There's some characters there in Newcastle team. Broncos always probably Sean Berrigan.
Okay, yeah.
Always running amok there somewhere. Dragons didn't really have many jokers. Everyone sort of enjoyed each other's company.
Yeah.
Everyone just laughed at everyone, just pretty much. That was about it,
That's what you need in a team and to get along and stuff like that. We'll wrap things up with the set of 6, the personality questions. Probably outside of boxing and rugby league, is there a favourite sport that you like watching?
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't really watch much sport.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if the Australian Open's on TV, watch a little bit of that.
Yeah.
At night times, Aussies are playing or something. But I don't really watch much sport.
No, that's fair enough. Well, you live in a nice holiday destination up there in Townsville. Is there a favourite holiday destination that you go to or have been to before?
Oh, yeah, so there's a little place called Bowen. It's between here and Mackay. It's on the beach. Like a little country town on the beach. It's awesome, nice and quiet. Everything's clean. Beaches are nice. And fishing's good. I normally go there 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Or a little holiday, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Is that where the Bowen mangoes are from up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Who would be the most famous person you'd love to meet and have a chat with? Is there anyone out there that you'd love to have a chat with?
Oh,
Love to meet?
yeah. Maybe Denzel Washington.
Okay, his name comes up a lot,
Probably
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of my favourite actors. So I'd love to meet him one day. Looks like a good fella too.
Yeah, he's very popular. His name comes up a lot when I ask that question. Yeah.
Okay.
Which 3 former teammates wouldn't you want to be stuck on a deserted island with, and why?
Oh shit. Oh shit, I can't remember. Been a while. Been over 10 years.
Yeah.
Probably.
Who were those?
Aku.
Really? Yeah.
Who you are? Because he's not always on a high. Like no slowing down with him. He's always again. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you remember Richie Faso.
Oh yeah.
He just eats everything. Whatever food you got, he'll eat it all. So he'll have none left. That's probably those 2.
Now I'm tipping this might be a seafood answer, maybe, or a steak answer. But what's your specialty dish in the kitchen or on the barbecue? What's your go-to?
I love chicken curries, or lamb curries. Yeah. Stepmom used to cook this. She's Fijian, and she used to cook this curry. Yeah, it was favourite food. Yeah, always try and cook it every now and then. It's never as good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my mum's a fan of the Thai green curry. She loves that one. That's her choice. Yeah. And the last one, who's your favourite musician or band to listen to?
At the moment, used to be Slim Dusty. I used to love Slim Dusty. He's old school. My old man, listening to a fair bit growing up. At the moment, probably Luke Combs or Morgan Wallen. Yeah, one of those fellas, yeah.
Did you manage to get Luke Combs tickets in that big rush when his concerts went on sale?
Nah, I didn't even try.
There was a bad rush for them.
There was, eh?
Yeah, very popular.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah, very popular. Well, Neville Costigan, thank you very much for joining me today on the Paracave podcast. I really enjoyed it. Big going down memory lane and some good chats there and stories and laughs and stuff. So thank you very much for coming on the podcast. And if I'm ever up in Townsville, I'll drop you a message and we'll catch up and say good day. So thank you very much.
No worries, Troy. Thanks for having me, mate.
Well, welcome back, and thanks for listening to Neville Costigan and his rugby league story. Certainly was an interesting chat there with one of the former hard men in a rugby league, and as I said, had that fight against Junior Paulo. So if you're interested in seeing that one, just check that one out on YouTube. I'm sure it'll be there. And speaking of YouTube, this interview will be posted to YouTube eventually. One day when I get around to it. So it will be on YouTube as well if you prefer to watch it. And I will let you know when that is, but it is available on Apple and Spotify as you are listening to it now. And thank you much again to the sponsors of the podcast, starting with Jack's Pale Ale, exclusively available at Parramatta Leagues Club in the club shop. And also Beau Cook from Loan Market, your local Penrith mortgage expert. You can contact Beau today on 0401 213 236 and get in contact with him for a free chat and see what he and his team can do for you. Just let him know that you heard it here on the Paracave podcast. Also, BTZD Teamwear, the official clothing sponsor of the podcast as well. Now, there is a couple of podcast shirts, polo shirts, available for purchase at the moment, $30 each. There are 2 larges and 1 extra large left in this first run, so if you're interested in purchasing one of those, just let me know. Just send me a message on one of the social media channels and I'm sure we could sort something out. So thank you very much, BTZD Teamwear. You can contact them or check out their website at www.btzd.com.au. Also, Shannon Cooney from Glenmore Park Realty. You would have seen me last week, I think it was, do a little reel from outside his agency there in Glenmore Park. So if you're thinking of selling or buying in the Glenmore Park or Penrith LGA areas, contact Shannon today. He's a 5-star real estate agent. You can contact him on 0421 588 445. Thank you very much to all the sponsors. With your support, it helps the podcast grow and reach many more people, I should say. Getting my words twisted up there, but thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. And as I said, without your help, I wouldn't be where I am today. Also, a thank you to the Parramatta Times, the official media partner of the podcast. For all your local Parramatta news, simply head to www.parramattatimes.com.au. Now, along with the polo shirts, I also have the Paracave podcast hats for sale as well. So if you would like to secure a great looking podcast hat for the reasonable price of $15, just again send me a message on one of the social media channels, and for $15 plus postage and handling, we'll work something out there as to getting it out to you as well, and you can wear it with pride and show your support for the podcast, which is really, really appreciative. I've seen a few people out there with that out, with their hats on, so it looks great as well. Thank you for listening to Edwin Smith and his interview last week on the Paracave podcast. From a fan's point of view, it was really interesting to get another point of view of the Parramatta Eels and their support for that. I really appreciate that. So I hope you enjoyed that story as much as I did. And as I said, if you want to know more about social media, then head to the Social Sandwich. You'll see that on Instagram and Facebook, so check that one out. He has got some great social media tips on there, so check that one out. Now, coming up soon, I don't know when, but coming up soon, I've got a really, really interesting podcast chat with a great guest. It was an honour and a privilege to interview this person. I can't wait to bring it to you. I wish I could bring it to you earlier, But it's coming out soon, so stay tuned to the social media channels for that one. I can't wait to bring you that one. A few people have requested him, so I have recorded an episode with him, and I can't wait to bring that one out as well. So you'll just have to wait and see who it is. Unfortunately, I might see what I can do during the weeks leading up to that one, maybe give away some hints here and there or whatever. But if you think you might know who it is, just drop me a message and we'll chat and see what happens there. Now, I just want to put it out there, are the listeners, you guys, interested in some more content in terms of a fan's point of view, e.g. myself, giving a game day review each week as a podcast? If you guys would like that, then just let me know, and I can start doing that one as well. And I hope you're enjoying my tipping podcast as well. Going pretty well, I think, with the tips. Just getting a couple wrong each week, getting so close to that ever elusive perfect round. I haven't got one so far this year, but I think I got one, maybe two last year, but I haven't got one this year. But I hope you're enjoying those tipping podcasts. Just a little bit of extra little content there. Are you following my tips? Let me know. Send me a message on socials. Anyway, have a great week as best you can. Enjoy your footy. But make sure to follow the podcast on the social media channels for some interesting little content and see who's coming up on the podcast. You follow it both on Instagram and Facebook as well. There's some interesting guests, as I said, coming your way over the next few weeks. But to sign off the show, and as I always say, the Para Cave podcast, by the fan, for the fans. Go Para!
Thank you for listening to another episode of the